everyone, Shoshana reporting for BWayShow.com at the world premiere of Joe Iconis' new musical, Love and Hate Nation. We're celebrating opening night with the cast and creative team right here at Red Bank's own Juvie Hall, Two River Theater. You really bring us full circle.
It's amazing. I think it's beautiful that that Joe's written a character that is so human and has such an arc, and that we really see her transform. And as a human being, it's great to play someone who has so many colors, and I get to tap into all of them, so it's a lot of fun.
What's so nice about this story is that it's so many different individual characters, and everyone really has that own backstory. Yeah. What was the rehearsal process like for that?
So liberating, because being a part of a team where everyone is really strong, we were never once told to back down and to make a softer or a more quiet choice. We were always empowered to follow our impulses, and I think that that's pretty special. Yeah.
I'm feeling so excited right now. The show it's a world premiere. I wrote the book, music, and lyrics. We've been working on it for a long time. We're at the end of a week of really intense previews and rehearsals, and the show went so well tonight. We were really thrilled with it. I feel so good. People are digging it, and so I feel both exhausted and great.
Excellent. And that's all you could really ask for in a night, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much my experience in the theater. Exhausted, but great.
Exhausted, but great. You just make such an impact on this show. What has the reaction been like to your character?
Honestly, it's been completely overwhelming. I've had so many young trans and non-binary people reach out to me just in, the number of 5 previews that we had so far, and tell me how much it means to them that a character introduced herself with her pronouns, a character celebrated her transness, it doesn't see it as a burden, it throws that back in their face. It's totally overwhelming and completely thrilling to get that kind of response from young people.
I think it's important, mostly, and I think that that's the reason that the show exists, is for representation and to show everyone who's in the audience that they are represented in our world here at Love and Hate Nation, and that you don't have to be one thing, you don't have to be 2 things, you can be a million things and still be cool and still be romantic and still be loved and still be a badass, no matter who you are, what you are. Yeah.
The stuttering part is a really a piece I didn't know about before tonight. What has that been like?
It's been hard because obviously I want to be as authentic. And I have people in my life who do stutter, and some people it is due to a nervous thing, and some people, I have a great cousin of mine who stutters a lot. And so it's been watching videos and trying to get trying to find reasons as to why do people stutter, what makes them stutter. And honestly, I don't want anyone to ever feel offended or feel we're making fun of, but yeah, it's been really hard. I think it's the most challenging to be as authentic and not imitate.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I thought that was really stunning. I've actually been doing a lot of work with SAY, which is the Stuttering Association for the Young. So it's just amazing. I covered something from them last week, and then to have this. And then also your character does kind of tackle so many things, right? There's the racism aspect, there's the LGBTQ aspect. Do you feel you're kind of I have so much responsibility, or you love that responsibility?
I love that responsibility. I think as a human being, we should all have that responsibility. I think that the thing that I love about theater is that it can really teach people how to empathize. Mm-hmm. And so, a lot of our audiences who come to the show may not be African American or may not, identify as queer, LGBTQ, but through these characters and this story, they can find ways to empathize and find themselves in these humans. And as an actor, that's all I have to do, I don't necessarily, in my personal life, I don't necessarily deal with everything that Susanna does, but I can empathize with her. Definitely. And yeah, it's beautiful.
3 failed escape attempts. It's amazing how there's one song that I've heard for so long, and then to actually see it on a stage, that was really neat.
Yeah. So many people have said that they've heard, a song or two from this show in cabarets or concerts, and then to see the songs in context, it gives it's a different thing, as it should be. And so, I think it's been fun for people.
It's always exciting to play a role that people know things about, because then you kind of get to bring your own personality and your own attitude to the character and sometimes surprise people, which is exciting.
And I love that this cast is a lot of new people, some people from Broadway Bounty Hunter, and now
I
Be
know.
More Chill. It's a combination of everything.
It is, and there's also actors who did the show at Penn State, which is crazy. It's a lot of crossover, and the cast is so sweet. Everyone gets along really well.
One thing that we always talk about is your diversity, and the diversity here is like different than usual in the best way. I love it. Weird, but in a good way.
Yeah, we're in a good way.
Tell me why the LGBT community and the trans community was so important for you to touch upon here.
The show is about it's a romance between two girls in a juvie hall for girls in 1962. That's sort of like the main story, but it's really about America, and it's about what's going on in America today. And when I started writing it, it became very clear to me that in order to write something that was an accurate representation of what's happening in America today, I would have to give voice to the populations of people who are marginalized and populations of people who are going through, some rough stuff right now. And so, automatically, we're talking about people in the, LGBTQ plus community, the trans community, people of color. And so it felt like, this Juvie Hall nation should just be a collection of these, of these people who are experiencing some really hard times right now in 2019. And I was lucky enough to work with such incredible people on stage. This cast of characters, these actors who are just like no other, chorus line that's ever been in a musical before, and so many amazing people behind the scenes whose life experiences are different than my own. Right. I'm a cis white guy. And this show is about everyone who is not a cis white guy. And so I've been lucky enough to have such amazing collaborators who have, really helped this show have a perspective that is different from my own.
I love that so much.
The most exciting way to enter a show is to have an 8-minute number, and then, the show is so top heavy for me. They're so front loaded, but it's really nice to kind of find my pathway through the rest of the show and not just be on a high note and then go downwards. You want to kind of just ride it, keep riding the wave. So yeah.
They're friends and family now. I feel like I felt very seen from the beginning, and they're smart and they're thoughtful and caring and encouraging, and it's really about exposing this story and making it the most real and human possible. And I always felt encouraged to ask questions and to really dig into the heart of it. And hopefully hopefully it showed. There was a lot of heart behind this show.
I wish I could tell you 20 minutes about each of these artists, because they truly infuse all of the show with what they do and who they are as humans and artists. And so it's a collaborative room. Joe writes that way, I direct that way, and they perform that way. So for us to be able to kind of all be in the same room, and we use words like sandbox and playground and all of be in our lanes, but we're on the same highway. That all those terrible metaphors that you can come up with. But what they bring to the piece is truly remarkable. Their artistry and specificity and bravery and unique way that they will crash into a story. I mean, I can't talk about any one of them because I want to talk to you about all of them.
This cast is, not only are they incredibly talented and passionate people, they are a bunch of weirdos. I mean, really, everybody is strange and funny, and everyone seems to be the kind of actor who might be a character actor in another show, but that we've all come together to create this incredible ensemble of characters, of people who are interested in storytelling and acting. I mean, this is truly an actor's musical daydream. I mean, it's just there's so many incredible character dynamics and moments between these, specifically 7 girls who inhabit the National Reformatory for Girls. But I mean, pretty much from the first day we sat down in rehearsal, and John and Joe and Maite talked about how no matter what, we should always be comfortable addressing issues of racism, of homophobia, of bigotry in the room. If anyone was ever uncomfortable or took issue with a certain direction the show was going, that we were supposed to bring it right to them, that we didn't need to hide that away and, I'll just deal with that because they're the directors. No, they wanted us to bring that up and to make this show and the room feel inclusive and safe and a space where we could truly explore these dynamics.
has to be a dream for an actor, an actress, for anyone to feel at their job that they're seen and they're heard. We have to talk about being here at Two River Theater, also the home of this other amazing musical I love, Be More Chill. Does it feel like a coming home moment?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's so surreal that Be More Chill was like playing here at Two River Theater 4 years ago, and that was the start of our journey. And then to be back with this, new musical, it feels like, oh my God, it feels both like a coming home and like we're gonna try this one, and it feels like this weird Groundhog Day thing of like, didn't we just do this? Like, weren't we just like freaking out about our weirdo new musical? In these very hallowed halls of Two River Theater. So yeah, it's just the kind of cyclical, bizarre nature of musical theater.
We met 21 years ago at NYU. He was an undergrad, and I was a grad student. And we worked on a couple of projects together, lost a little bit of touch for a couple of years, and then worked on a project of his that he was looking for a director, and he thought, oh, that guy, I liked that guy.
That guy's pretty
And
good.
then like great relationships happen, you sort of know that it's good right away. And so we knew it was good right away, even though we were playing bars and clubs and little rooms doing kind of concerts and shows. But that's how you cut your teeth with people. And so to me, what that lets us do 20 years later is have a shorthand together about storytelling and have a way of kind of finishing each other's sentences in the way that we tell stories.
Being Trans Awareness Week and having opening night, I mean, did you feel like the culmination was all together?
Yeah, I mean, it is a show that I think really celebrates the weird and different, but in that way, it also specifically celebrates us who are LGBT. And I think that is such a beautiful way to infuse this show with the kind of extra pump to it. Like, these characters are not just social outcasts because they may have a stutter or they may burn shit down, but also that they are othered in the way that we are still othered today for being trans, for being gay, for being bisexual. And so to have all of this Trans Awareness Week and the show opening together, I think it just hammers home the message of the show, which is that your otherness is beautiful, incredible, and it doesn't make you a masochist to be LGBT.
Right. I love that you sing that and you really address the audience, and the audience like has to take that in and be like, yes, I agree with you, and now I'm here with you and I'm following your story.
People that I work with time and time again, I work with them because I'm just a fan of theirs and because they're really badass actors. And so, Lauren Marcus, I love that she went from playing, like a flighty teenager on Broadway one day, and literally the day after Be More Chill closed, we came here to Two River to do a workshop of the musical, and she was playing this, this really bizarre, warden of a juvie hall. Like, the character could not have been more different from what she played in Be More Chill. And to me, that just speaks to the sort of actor who I love to work with, who is, someone who's like fearless and just, out of their minds.
Love it.
And that's my wife. Fearless and out of her mind.
Having been here for the concert, having heard some of the songs, I thought I had a pretty good idea. And then to see it, it was like, oh, that's the beauty of live theater, right? The direction and the staging really helped to like tell the story.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's a kind of a wild and crazy place that these girls inhabit. So I think that when they're climbing the walls all over the place, it's important for that staging to kind of tell you what to look at and where to look and all that kind of stuff. So we're really proud of it. Yeah.
And what would you like to say to all of your fans watching at home?
This is a very different character than Brooke, and Be More Chill. Get ready.
Get ready, but still come see it.
Yeah, no, it's cool, but different.
Very, very different.
You are completely seen by this show. I mean, we in this room, not only do we want to celebrate those, trans women who are locked away in certain reformatories in 1962, but no matter who you are, if you are non-binary, if you are a trans man, if you are a trans woman, and if you're questioning your gender maybe for the first time, I want you to know that you have allies out here, and especially in the theatrical community, and we need you now more than ever.
Thank you for supporting. I know that New Jersey feels far away, but please come out to New Jersey to see Love and Hate Nation. I think you'll dig it. And if you come out to New Jersey to see it, then you can tell everyone when it's playing on Broadway that you saw it in New Jersey first.
On Broadway, on Broadway,
Bounty Hunter shout out.
What? Awesome. Thank you, Joe Iconis. Appreciate you so much. Enjoy opening.
Thank you. I shall.
Weirdo in a good way. Yeah.
I would say weirdo in a good way is kind of my motto, so I appreciate that very much.
I'll take it.
Well, Thank you so much, Mina. And this has been your exclusive coverage of Love and Hate Nation's opening night. BUA show. Do you want to tell everyone where they can find you on social media?
Yes, Amina.Faye. Yes, no. Amina_Faye. I'm bad at social media, but I'm going to get better at it. It's going to be great. Come see the show.
Come see the show. We'll see you at the show.